चलिए फिर, कैसे हो आप लोग? गुड इवनिंग। आज हम एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट, मुझे इतने दिनों से स्टूडेंट्स बोल रहे थे सर एक एबीसी एनालिसिस वीडियो बना लो, व्हाई आर यू नॉट मेकिंग एन एबीसी एनालिसिस वीडियो? ओके, सो आई एम primarily recording this video in English for all those, even those students down south who have little weak Hindi can also see this video and understand what I'm trying to say. Now, why I was avoiding ABC analysis for a subject like SCMP is because ICI has given blanket rates, blanket marks. They haven't specified exact marks for particular subject. उन्होंने specific नहीं किया हुआ, उन्होंने blanket marks बताए थे. Now what I mean by blanket marks is, understand this part. Now the first chapter, introduction to SCM. Now what has ICI said is, ICI said that these four chapters, that is introduction to SCM, modern business environment, lean system and cost management techniques, all those four chapters can be asked for a maximum of 25%. Now even if we consider 25% of 120 marks, which is considering your additional question, that is your question number, the question that you're supposed to leave, considering that question, it comes to 30 marks. Now the biggest issue is, now understand what I'm saying and why I'm not recommending you to follow an ABC analysis, is because ICI has given himself leverage. Now ICI can ask from introduction to SCM a question of 30 marks and we cannot do anything because it has been prescribed that all these four chapters together may form 30 marks. Now it is nowhere specified that the questions must be asked from each and every chapter. I am specifically stating this fact. Let me make it clear. In November 19 examination, before that examination, this chapter called performance measurement, it was never asked in examination for the previous three attempts. Since May 18 the new course came into existence, so May 18, November 18 and your respectively May 19th, in those three attempts not a single question was asked from this chapter. In the very attempt of November 19, this chapter came from around 35 marks. How much? 35 marks. Just imagine the state and the trauma of the students who went, studied according to ABC analysis. What were they in their states, in their mental trauma? A chapter which was not asked for the previous three attempts have been asked for a 35 marks straight questions. What will you do in such cases? That's why ABC won't work. Now, what I am saying, what strategy do I suggest? Rather than doing chapters on ABC, you could do particular concepts on ABC. Now, what do I mean by that? For example, cost management techniques. There's a concept called environment management accounting. Now, this question on this particular topic was asked in the last attempt, that is your December 21. Now, since it has been asked in the December 21 attempt, there are chances that it won't be repeated in your upcoming attempt, that is your May 22. So this way you could do an ABC analysis of topics rather than doing the ABC analysis of the entire chapter. Why I'm recommending this is, again I'm saying, now just understand this. They are told that particular decision making and pricing decision would be around 10 to 20 marks. Now they have leverage. In my attempt, that was Jan 21, a question of decision making was asked for 20 marks straight, question number 3. Straight on a new question was asked in the examination. Now, what if someone would have done pricing decision and would have left decision making, thinking that this would come off 10 marks, this would come off 10 marks, I would easily score 10 marks. You are gone. You are like you are like a bleeding horse in the examination. With every minute passing by, you're losing marks. Why? Because you have done this. Don't follow this strategy. Simply just what to do. Do both these chapters or leave both these chapters. So then you at least know that 20 मार्क का पेपर मुझे नहीं आएगा, मुझे 100 मार्क का पेपर फिर भी आएगा. 20 मार्क का पेपर मुझे नहीं आएगा, मुझे 100 मार्क का पेपर फिर भी आएगा. This is very important because in a subject like SCMPE, there is no fixed pattern. There is no fixed pattern that ICI would ask on the particular chapter, on the particular concept. ICI is changing. It is not like FR, where you will get a question from consolidation or combination or financial instruments. It is not like SFM, where there will be a question from Forex. I am stating this fact again and again and again, that in subject like SCMP, you cannot go through ABC analysis on chapter basis. You can go through an ABC analysis via the particular concept basis. Now let me say what I am. Let me tell you. All these four chapters, ICA have a leverage that they could ask all these 4 chapters for 30 marks. You know, one more twist in this. ICA can ensure that they could ask, if ICA want, I'm not saying they would do that, but they have this power that they could ask from a single chapter 50 marks of paper. Sir, how? Let me tell you. This, this cost management techniques, this chapter, this particular marks only include the questions that are based on the topic of your study mat. There are another 20 marks which is your case study digest. Compulsory, I've written it specifically here. Compulsory case study from any one of the above chapter of 20 marks. ICI has this freedom that they could have any chapter from the above, including in and above the weightage, a 20 marks case study. Now the worst case scenario for you would be, you have done ABC analysis and you have not done modern business environment. For example, some of you might think that I won't do this chapter. You have left, but you have done everything except those modern business environment. To your utter bad luck, to your utter demise, there was a question that was asked from modern business environment, a question of 30 marks and a case study of 20 marks. You are done in the paper. At that very point, you know that that's it. This attempt is gone. Why? Why to plan such a battle where you're going with your half weapons? Why to plan such a battle? Better than that, plan a battle where you know, okay, even if I'm going, even if I have 10 missiles, I would be taking 9 of them in the battle. I won't be taking my BrahMos. I would be taking the 9 other missiles. That is even a better battle than simply going in a battle with 5 of your missiles and leaving the 5 apart. Meanwhile, there is a chance. For example, you have in your arsenal an anti-tank missile, an anti-ship missile, an anti-air missile. What you have done? You haven't took the anti-air missiles, but you have took 100 of each anti-tank and anti-ship missile. Now, if the enemy has airplanes, if the enemy has jets, what will you do? You are done. You cannot survive with an anti-tank and anti-ship missile. Even better, what you could have done, anti-tank, you could have taken 60 of each. That way, even if enemy has fighter jets, you could fight them. You could delay the inevitable. You could delay the inevitable. Now this is very important. तो सर एक बार मैं हिंदी में भी इसको क्विकली समराइज कर देता हूँ. सर आप ये बोल रहे हो कि एक चैप्टर छोड़ने से अच्छा चैप्टर के अंदर के कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट छोड़ दो जो प्रीवियस एग्जाम में पूछे, कि ताकि आपके पास एक चांस हो कि आप पेपर अच्छे से करो. दूसरा इंपॉर्टेंट, कौन से चैप्टर्स तो उसमें भी नहीं छोड़ने, फर्स्ट, सेकंड, थर्ड, फोर्थ, जिसमें मैंने 10 to 30 मार्क्स लिखा है ना बेटा, नहीं छोड़ने. These 4 chapters should not be left under any criteria. Then even these two are comparatively quite easy, and these are 20 marks which if you have a little conceptual clarity you can easily crack. These 20 marks are very easy to crack. In the Jan 21 examination, question number 3 was asked. Preferably students were saying that it was asked from old course PM, which I haven't done. I had simply practiced study math and built on my concepts, and I still could crack that question. Why? Because I was strong on concepts. You should focus on your concepts rather than, doing questions. Concepts would help you clear SCMPE. Concepts would clear SCMPE. Now let me tell you. If you do these 4 chapters, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5 and 6, okay, and then these 3. These 3 are mandatory. Till here, I'm saying that every chapter is mandatory. First 9 chapters are mandatory. Now, regarding budget and standard, trust me, during my time, I was preparing for both group, and I have, there was no time for me in those 1.5 days to cover standard costing, because this subject itself took a healthy chunk of me covering in those 1.5 days. And understand that SCMPE consists of 5th paper. I had already given 4 papers before that, and that time being 26 January, we had an extra day for law. So technically, I had not studied this subject from the last 15 or 20 days. So in those 1.5 days, it took, blood and sweat of mine, and eventually I could not do standard costing. That does not make any difference. In the paper, I know standard costing comes of 10 marks. It is a question that would come of 10 to 20 marks. You haven't done standard costing. It won't change anything. Frankly, it won't change anything. You could leave one question. So go, in case if you want to leave, you could leave standard costing, because this is the only chapter which does not have a case study primary based on this. Of course, there's one case study, but that is way too complicated to ask in the examination. This is one chapter which does not have a primary case study, and moreover this chapter is a standalone chapter. If you leave this chapter, other chapters concepts won't get affected, while in all these other chapters there is a chance that if you leave those, the other chapters concept may get affected. Like some of you who would have left lean system would never have understood what does Kaizen mean, and if they wouldn't have understood Kaizen means, they wouldn't have understood TQM, eventually TPM. So all these are linked. Understand this part, what I am saying. Please understand it. Okay. And last, now you should before, and so sir, what you are saying is, sir, you could leave standard costing. Yes, you can leave. I am, as a teacher, I won't recommend, but as a colleague, as a fellow student, as someone who has cleared recently examination, you can leave standard costing. Frankly, it does not make you a less of a chartered accountant. My friend, one of my best friends, have left both standard and budget, and he's still earning 12 to 16 lakhs and annum, 12 lakhs plus variable. So frankly, you leaving one chapter or two chapter doesn't make you less of a chartered accountant. What matters is what you have done in those remaining chapters. Leaving one or two chapters won't affect, but please don't leave a chapter which I have written in yellow or green. Don't leave any chapters in those which could be asked for 30 marks, because the risk of leaving these chapters are more than the time you are getting by doing this chapter. Understand, if you leave this chapter in examination, there might be chance that you might not be able to solve question number 1, which is a suicidal technique in examination. Standard costing, there is very less chance that it would come in the examination as compulsory question. So even you have to work smart. Don't work hard only. Work smart and hard. A donkey works quite hard. A donkey works quite hard. But does it get the same respect? No, it doesn't. Like a lion get, or like a tiger get. Why? Because they work smart. They do not do 24/7 hunting. They do it once and they enjoy. They feast upon it. That is what you should do. The time that you're saving in here would help you feast upon your other subjects like DT, like IDT, or like your optional for that matter. Don't take optional lightly. So the time that you're gonna save here would eventually help you increase your marks there. This is how you should approach. There is no ABC analysis. There is no ABC analysis. There is no ABC that ICI has prescribed. Any ABC analysis stating would be obvious facts. Let me tell you. If I say you in FR, don't leave financial instruments, that chapter would come. That is not an ABC analysis. That is something that we all know. We haven't left material costing in Inter, did we? No, we haven't, sir. We haven't left in accounts. We haven't left partnership accounts in Inter, do we? No, we haven't, sir. We don't leave director chapter in law, do we? No, sir, we not. Why? Because that are obvious facts. Similarly, in this, you cannot leave these 4 chapters under any circumstances. These 4 and this 7, 8, 9. Because Institute has given a blanket of themselves around 30 marks. Now understand, Institute can ask 2 chapters of 60 marks. What will you do in examination? You cannot just cry there stating that I have done ABC analysis as per this faculty and Institute has asked something else. You cannot do that. Because trust me, all those faculties, including me, we are chartered accountant. We have done what we have to do. Now, you should work smart, not hard. Work smart, not hard. I am again recommending you, preferably don't leave anything. But if time is on the crunching part of your, timetable, if you don't have enough time, you could leave the chapter standard costing and budget. If time is not at your disposal. Have you got this part? Now, how to score maximum marks. How to score maximum marks. Using these techniques, you would get more marks than what you would if you haven't. Now, you should do 3 revisions. Sir, 3 revisions? Yes. The first time you should study in depth. I have given a timetable how to do it in 10 days. Now, you should first give 10 days. Basically, first time you should study costing for 10 days. Now, there's a golden principle. If you want to revise 4 times, take 1/4 time of your first study. Means, if I want to revise 4 times, sir, if I took 10 days, here I need to complete the chapter in 2.5 days. That is a golden principle that works. This is a golden principle. So this is a 3-time revision. So if you have given first time 10 days, the next time you would have to give 3.5 days. Eventually you would have to give 1.5 days. And this is what makes you exam ready. Before the final battle you have 1.5 days. You should first do a mock battle of studying the entire subject 1.5 days. It is as good as net practice. क्रिकेट में नेट प्रैक्टिस करते ना, क्यों करते? क्योंकि क्रिकेट में ऐसा नहीं कर सकते सीधा मैच में जाके खेलेंगे, नहीं. बिफोर दैट दे नीड टू प्रिपेयर. कैसे प्रिपेयर करेंगे? ऐसे. अब ध्यान देना, द फर्स्ट टाइम यू स्टडी, पहली बार जब आप पढ़ोगे, आपको सिर्फ कॉन्सेप्ट और क्वेश्चंस आईसीआई मॉड्यूल के एंड लेटेस्ट वाले आईसीआई मॉड्यूल बेटा जो May 22 की है. हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है, क्योंकि May 22 के मॉड्यूल में इंस्टीट्यूट ने ऑलरेडी बहुत सारे आरटीपी एमटीपी के क्वेश्चंस डाल दिए हैं. May 22 मॉड्यूल में ऑलरेडी इंस्टीट्यूट ने बहुत सारे आरटीपी एमटीपी के क्वेश्चंस डाल दिए हैं. उसके अलावा ध्यान दीजिए, इन सब के अलावा जब आपने फर्स्ट टाइम करा, आपको कॉन्सेप्ट करना है. ओनली सॉल्व क्वेश्चंस ऑफ आईसीआई मॉड्यूल. आई एम अगेन रिपीटिंग दिस इन इंग्लिश. ओनली सॉल्व क्वेश्चंस and modules, only solve questions of ICI module and concepts. Now for concepts, I am providing revision video. You could see in this channel, there are 3 revision chapters done. The 4th one is getting uploaded. Then in this second revision, you should do concepts again. Don't skip this part. Revise concepts 1, 2, 3. 3 times concept revised. Now understand. RTP, MTP, previous year questions have definitely cut this, and plus case study digest. Why you should do this in the second revision? Let me be very clear. Because what comes in examination in the MTPs, it is not usually based on a particular chapter. For example, if there's a case study, it would contain part of Six Sigma. It would contain part of OE. It would contain part of value chain analysis. Now it would contain 3 chapters. Now for the first time when you are studying, you don't know what does value chain means. You have been studying lean system. How would you understand what does value chain means? Because that has been taught in the first chapter. You haven't yet completed the first chapter. So this would lead to your confidence being low. And trust me, in these 2 months, the last thing you want is your confidence being low. If you have a high confidence in the examination, you might be getting 38. But with those confidence, you would solve 2 questions and you would get 3 to 2 marks more. That would make your total go above 40. And trust me, in every mark, the battle is for every mark in the examination. I got 40 in DT. I had guesswork 2 to 3 MCQs. After coming home, I discussed with my friends and they were right. Just because I had the confidence. And trust me, those 2 marks have got me cleared those subjects. And I'm a chartered accountant now. Same goes with audit. I cleared the exact 40. So confidence is the key. Confidence is the key. From today till the date of examination, believe in yourself कि यार मुझे ही सब आता, बाकी किसको कुछ नहीं आता. मुझे ही आता, मेरा दोस्त गलत पढ़ रहा. I know, better to be overconfident than to be underconfident. Understand this fact. Next. Now in the next revision, when you will do RTP, MTP, previous year questions and case study digest. जब आप अगली रिविजन में RTP, MTP, case study digest, previous year questions करोगे. मैंने previous year questions काटे हुए हैं. क्यों काटे हैं सर? क्योंकि ऐसे नए क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है. पुराने क्वेश्चंस करके प्रभु फायदा नहीं है. ऐसे नए क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है, नए कॉन्सेप्ट टेस्ट कर रहा. तो उसके लिए आप RTP कर लो, MTP कर लो और केस स्टडी डाइजेस्ट कर लो. बेटा यही इनफ है. इसमें भी केस स्टडी डाइजेस्ट अगर टाइम परमिट करता है, लेकिन कर लेना. RTP, MTP, केस स्टडी डाइजेस्ट आराम से हो जाएगा. यहाँ जो आपको कॉन्सेप्ट बनाने को जो टाइम लग रहा है, क्योंकि आप स्टडी मैट से पढ़ोगे एंड देन आपके नोट्स बनाओगे, लेकिन कोई आपके लिए ऑलरेडी नोट्स बना रहा है, तो वो भी वीडियोस अपलोड हो जाएगा. आप वो वीडियोस देख सकते हो या फिर आप खुद पढ़ सकते हो. नेक्स्ट, यहाँ आपको ना स्टार मार्क करने वो क्वेश्चंस जो आपको टफ गए, माइंडेड वो क्वेश्चंस जो आपको टफ गए, वो आपको यहाँ स्टार मार्क करने. इस केस में आपको RTP, MTP करनी है और केस स्टडी डाइजेस्ट करनी. सेकंड रिवीजन में ये वाले क्वेश्चंस नहीं करने हैं, नहीं करने. सिर्फ कॉन्सेप्ट्स पे ध्यान देना, जो आपने कॉन्सेप्ट नोट्स बना लिए अपनी. एंड दी थर्ड इन दी फाइनल रिवीजन, आपको सिर्फ कॉन्सेप्ट करने और स्टार क्वेश्चंस करने. ये आपको 1.5 डेज में करने का ट्राई करना है, क्योंकि एग्जाम के दिन तो 1.5 दिन मिलेगा. अगर बोथ ग्रुप्स है तो 1.5 दिन मिलेगा. लॉ के पेपर के बाद आओगे 1.5 डेज रहेंगे. इफ यू कम आफ्टर द लॉ यू विल हैव जस्ट 1.5 डेज. एंड अगर आपका सिंगल ग्रुप है तो आप ठीक है, देन यू हैव अ लेवरेज दैट यू कुड एक्सटेंड दिस. बट फॉर बोथ ग्रुप्स यू हैव 1.5 डेज. सिंगल ग्रुप वालों को चलो आपको एक लेवरेज है कि आप इस टाइम को बढ़ा सकते हो. तो प्रिपेयर लाइक दिस दैट यू हैव 1.5 डेज. बोथ ग्रुप वालों, अगर तुम 1.5 दिन में सब्जेक्ट कर, सिंगल ग्रुप वालों, तुम 1.5 दिन में सब्जेक्ट कर पा रहे हो, तो मेरे को एक चीज बताओ यार, तुम 3 या 4 दिन में कितना अच्छा करोगे. तुम्हारा पहला ही पेपर कितना अच्छा जाएगा. पहले पेपर में तुम पावर प्ले जैसे छक्के चौके मारोगे. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, इफ यू वांट टू स्कोर गुड इन अ T20 मैच, अंडरस्टैंड दिस एज अ T20 मैच. अगर T20 मैच में अच्छा स्कोर करना है तो आपको पावर प्ले में अच्छे रन मारने. कोई भी ऐसी टीम नहीं है जिसने पावर प्ले में खराब किया और जीती हो. इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान 2021 is the biggest example for this. India could not capitalize on the power play. India lost Rohit Sharma, we lost KL Shikhar Dhawan, we lost KL Rahul in the power play. What had that happened? We could not score a mammoth total, which was easily chased by Pakistan because they took opportunity and scored runs in those power play. So power play defines you, and power play is your first paper. Your first paper practically defines you how well you're gonna do. So prepare for the best your first paper. And if you need any help, any point of time, I am just a WhatsApp message away. And my number is 9421503171. Please text me. Consider me as your elder brother. Consider me as your elder brother. Okay? Consider me. I am not that old. I have become CA right now in July 21. It's not much time. I can understand what we feel. We are on the same table. It's just I'm little bit here. That's it. Nothing has changed. So this was my ABC analysis. Again, I'm summarizing this कि यार ABC analysis है तो प्लीज चैप्टर अगर कोई छोड़ना है तो स्टैंडर्ड और बजट छोड़ सकते हो, बाकी कोई मत छोड़ना. इंस्टीट्यूट के पास चांस है कि 30 से 50 मार्क का एक क्वेश्चन पूछ ले, क्या कर लोगे? व्हाट विल यू डू? So this is what I wanted to say, and thank you. Good night.